Hey guys, so if you want to see how I created these looks with the Ring the Alarm palette by Morphe and Jaclyn Hill, the Vault collection, just keep on watching. Okay, so we're trying out the Ring the Alarm palette, which looks like this, and this one I feel is kind of like the 35O palette. So if you don't have that one, I'm going in with Rush first. If you don't have the 35O, don't worry too much, because this I guess could be a dupe. So I've shot 3 of these palettes in one day, because I've got so much stuff to do during the rest of the week. I'm gonna have the freedom to shoot throughout the week, so I thought, you know what, I need to get a bunch of videos done in one day. So I've literally been doing like one palette, editing, taking off my makeup, getting new makeup on, or eye makeup at least, and doing the next palette. This is a nice transition shade, but I wish it was just a little bit more pigmented. So I'm gonna go in with Alert, which is next to it, or not next to it, but which is like the next one up. Like it's a little bit more intense. That's what I was looking for, and that blends with the first shade really well. It's like just a little bit more of an intense shade. It's like the next shade up, but they're still in the same family. Okay, so for the first eye, I'm gonna go in with Framed here. I'm gonna go in the corner and bring it up. Okay, this one is showing me that it doesn't really want to blend out on its own, so I'm going back with that Alert color. So I can just blend out the edges a little bit, because it's not playing ball. I had the same issue with one of the other palettes, I think it was the Bling Boss, and also in the Dark Magic. It's like some of these shades, it's like once they hit the skin, that's it, it's like it's not moving. And it looks like in each of the palettes they have 1 or 2 of those shades, and in this palette it is that framed color. So be aware that if you put it down, you're going to have to use another shade to move it, because it just doesn't want to move. I don't know why this is happening, but it is. I'm going to use Balm Ace. This is beautiful cherry red. I have not used a, what's it called, a fixing spray with this shadow, but it is performing beautifully. And I am definitely the type who can appreciate a nice shimmery red, and I know that if I was to have used a fixing spray on this, it would have been even more bomb. A lot of fallout though. A little bit more of, so I'm using Secret now, Secret in the corner. Okay, so now I'm going to go in, let me just get another flat brush. So I'm going to go in with, on camera, this beautiful gold here. Again, I'm not using any fixing spray, but I know that this would be really nice with fixing spray. This, I have to say, is a very hard pressed shadow. Like I'm having to really dig my brush in to get that pigment. And the reason why I'm not using fixing spray with this palette is because of the other two palettes I use the shimmers with fixing spray, but I haven't tested them without it, aside from when I did the swatches. I just wanted to see how the shimmers performed without a fixing spray, and I actually really like that it's not a requirement to have the fixing spray. So I'm going to go back in with Mugshot. No, I think this is the first, yeah, this is the first time I'm using Mugshot. So I'm going to go in with that in the crease a little bit to give it a little bit of depth, and so I can blend out the edges of that shimmer. Okay, I don't know if it added any depth per se, but it helped just to blend out that shimmer so that it's not so just blocky. Right, so I'm going to give you my thoughts on the Ring the Alarm palette, which is this one here. This palette, I kind of feel like, as I've already said, I've compared it to the 35O. Yes, I know that there's not 35 shades, there's only 10. But it's very orange centric, it's very autumny, it's very fiery, it's beautiful to look at. I don't feel like if you already have these shades that you must have this palette, because me personally, I know that I've got all of these shades dotted around in other palettes. You may not. If you don't, this is a nice palette to have, but I think that you can get palettes which are similar to this but more affordable, like the Revolution chocolate bar palettes. They have palettes which are very, very similar to this shade range in the chocolate bar range for under £10. So I would advise that if you don't have these shades or you wanted these shades, I don't think that you should spend £15 or $15 on this palette. I think you should go to Revolution and get the equivalent, which will be under £10 or under $10 or whatever the equivalent is in the US dollar currency. It's nice, it's alright. Everybody has these shades most likely. I don't feel like these do or show anything different. It's just an alright palette. It falls in line with the formula and consistency of the other two palettes that I've already reviewed, which I will leave linked down below in the description bar. Yeah, there are a couple of shades which just, like this one framed, it just stays where you put it. It takes a lot to blend it out. You need another shade to blend it out. It doesn't just hold on to and blend with other shades that well. You have to really finesse it, and it depends on how much time you have that morning or that day that you're doing your makeup to take the time to blend it out. And I don't feel like that shades like this should require for all of this effort to be made. And I'm finding it, especially with the dark berry colors, I'm not too sure what it is with the formula, but they're just tending to be a little bit more difficult to work with, in my opinion. I like that the shimmers, they worked on their own without the aid of a fixing spray. But of course, I know that they would have been even more bomb if I was to use a fixing spray, but it's nice to know that it's just not a necessity. Do I think that out of all four you must have this palette? No. I feel, yeah, I don't feel like this is like the one that you must have out of all of them. But of course, if this is the kind of shade range that you like to go for, then go right ahead. I mean, I can't tell you what to do. With your money, it's your money. But just in my opinion, I just don't feel like this was like the top one. But after I've tried the last one, the Armed and Glamorous one, I will let you know my final thoughts on all four of them, like a roundup. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.